Geobyte.
Hello dear friends, welcome to the Geobyte. In this video, let us discuss the solutions for previous ESET problems given for kinematics and friction. Dear friends, believe me, this is the topic maintaining the highest weightage in the physics. You can expect nearly 6 marks. You can expect nearly 6 marks from this particular topic, that is kinematics and friction. And this topic is very easy compared to the other topics, since each and every problem is equally important. Therefore my request is you please watch till the last problem. After listening all these problems, you practice with pen and paper. If you find any difficulty while you are practicing, you please send all your doubts to the Geobyte. Definitely I will answer all your doubts within 24 hours. In this video, dear friends, I have selected problems given in 2020 and 2019 for the Telangana State ESET exam. Look at the very first problem. Look at the very first problem. Very first problem is the splash of sound is heard 2.05 seconds after the stone is dropped into a well of depth 19.6 meters. Once again, the splash of sound is heard 2.05 seconds after the stone is dropped into a well of depth 19.6 meters. That means the splash sound heard splash sound here time equal to 2.05 second after the stone is dropped into a well of depth, height of the or depth of the well, depth of well. Let us take depth of the well equal to h 19.6 meters. Okay, velocity of sound is, you are asked to find the what is the sound velocity. G given 9.8 meter per second square. The acceleration due to gravity equal to 9.8 meter per second square. First let us find the time taken to travel a height of 19.6 meters. That can be found by using the one of the equations, that is S equal to ut plus half at square. That is one of the equations of motion. Here S is h. Here initial velocity, it is clearly given, it is dropped. It is dropped. It is dropped into a well. At the dropping location, the initial velocity u equal to 0. So h equal to 0 into t plus half into a becomes g into t square. It is equal to h equal to half into g t square, or t square equal to 2h by g. 2 into height of the well is 19.6 divided by g 9.8. You simplify that value, t you are getting around 4. T square is 4. T square is 4 and t equal to 2 seconds. Therefore, the time required to travel a height of 19.6 meters is 2 seconds. It is clearly given that the sound is heard uh, for a time of 2.05 seconds after the stone is reached to the well. After the stone is reached to the water, the sound is heard, splash sound is heard for a time of 2.05 seconds. Therefore, the time taken by the sound time taken by the sound equal to the time required for hearing the splash sound minus the time required for traveling the depth of the well from the dropping point, that is t. Here the splash sound heard time is 2.05 seconds, that I marked as capital T. 2.05 minus this is 2 seconds. 2 seconds equal to 0.05 seconds. That is the time taken by the sound. Then what is the sound velocity? Sound velocity is equal to distance traveled by the sound divided by time taken by the sound. Time taken by the sound. Here the distance traveled by the sound is how much it is given. Distance traveled by the sound is 19.6. 19.6 divided by 0.05 second. You simplify this value for getting around 392 meter per second. This is the sound velocity or velocity maintained by the sound, 392 meter per second. Look at the options. 392. Look at the option C. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope all of you understood. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the second problem. 4 bodies P, Q, R and S are projected with equal velocities having angle of projections 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees and 60 degrees. These are the angles of projections of the P, Q, R and S with the horizontal respectively. The body having the shortest range is, which one is maintaining the shortest range? First let me write the angles. Angle made by the P equal to 15 degrees. Angle made by the Q, angle made by the Q equal to 30 degrees. Angle made by the R equal to 45 degrees. And angle made by the S equal to 60 degrees. This is the problem which is given in 2020 Telangana ESET exam. Okay, now you are asked to find the body having the shortest range. You know the range r equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. That is the range. It is given that all the bodies are maintaining equal velocities. All the bodies are maintaining equal velocities. That means u remains constant. Then range maintained by p, range of p, that is rp equal to u square sine 2 theta p divided by g. It is equal to u square by g into sine 2 theta. Theta p is 15 degrees. 2 into 15 degrees. You simplify this value for getting around 0.5 u square, 0.5 u square by g. Of course, it can be written as u square by 2g. That is the range maintained by the body P. Now look at the range maintained by the body Q. Range of Q RQ equal to u square sine 2 theta q, theta for q divided by g. It is equal to u square by g into sine theta q is 30 into 2 60. Here sine 60 equal to root 3 by 2. It is root 3 into u square by 2g. That is the range of the q. It can be also written as root 3 by 2 can be written as 0.866 into u square by g. Similarly, range of r equal to r suffix r equal to u square sine 2 theta r divided by g. It is u square by g into sine 2 into theta for r. Theta for r is 45 degrees. So 45 into 2, 90. You simplify this value, this is u square by g, because sine 90 equal to 1. Last one, range of r. Yes, completed. Range of s. Rs equal to u square sine 2 theta s divided by g. It is equal to u square by g into sine. What is the angle made by the body s? 60 into 2, 120 degrees. Simplify this value for getting here sine 120 can be written as cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2 into u square by g. Of course, it is equal to 0.866 into u square by g. So the range of s equal to 0.866 u square by g. Range of r is u square by g. Range of q is equal to range of s, that is 0.866 u square by g, whereas range of p is u square by 2g or 0.5 u square by g. Since you are asked to decide the body having the shortest range, the body having the shortest range is how much? Range maintained by the p itself, that is u square by 2g or 0.5 u square by g. Therefore option C, look at the option C. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take the next problem. Look at the third problem. A stone is thrown vertically upwards from the ground. It reaches a maximum height of 50 meters in 10 seconds. So it is thrown vertically upwards 50 meters. For traveling the 50-meter distance, how much time it is taking? 10 seconds. So let me write the given data. Distance traveled by body. Distance traveled by body. I can say vertical distance. Vertical distance traveled by body equal to 50 meters. The time required equal to 10 seconds. Since 10 seconds is required to travel the vertical height, therefore this 10 seconds I can call as the time of ascent. Time of ascent equal to 10 seconds. But remember, time of ascent equal to time of descent. Time of ascent equal to time of descent. That already you practiced. Time of descent equal to 10 seconds. Okay. After what time it reaches the ground from the maximum height? For reaching from ground to maximum height is time of ascent, and the time required for reaching the ground from the maximum height is time of descent. But you know that time of ascent and time of descent both are identical. Therefore the time required for reaching the body ground from maximum height is 10 seconds only. Therefore option B itself is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let's take the next problem. Look at the fourth problem. If mu s, mu k and mu r are the coefficients of static, kinetic and rolling friction respectively, it is given like this. Mu s equal to static friction. Mu s equal to static friction. Mu k equal to kinetic friction. And mu r equal to rolling friction. Okay. Rolling friction respectively. Then you are asked to decide the relation between these three frictions. Dear friends, remember the static friction always greater than the kinematic friction than that of rolling friction. That is the order of coefficient of friction. So static friction The static friction is more than kinetic friction more than the rolling friction. Therefore, option D is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us go for the fifth problem. Look at the fifth problem. A wooden block of 100 kg is about to be pushed on a floor of coefficient of friction 0.4. Here coefficient of friction mu equal to 0.4. What is the magnitude of the force of friction on the wooden block when it is just pushed? You are asked to find the how much force is required to push the mass of the body is 100 kg. Mass of the body is given 100 kg. How much force is required to push that body? Force F is how much? As you know, force F equal to mu mg. Mu 0.4, mass is given 100 multiplied by 9.8, that is the standard value. You simplify this value for getting 392 newtons. The force unit is Newton. Therefore, the force required to push the body is 392 newtons. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you understood clearly. This is very easy and important problem. That's why let me mark this problem as 5-star problem. 5-star problem means the most expected problem. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the sixth problem. Which of the following is correct? It is given in 2019. AB is not equal to BA. It is not correct. Option B, A into B plus C equal to AB plus CA. Absolutely correct. As you know, the distributive law says that distributive law of vector says that vector A into vector B plus vector C is equal to vector A into vector B plus vector A into vector C. Vector A into vector C is equal to vector C into vector A. Anyhow, this is the distributive law of vectors. Option B is absolutely correct. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the seventh problem. The acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth is given by the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth equal to G M capital G capital M by R square, where G equal to universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. Gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. Capital M equal to mass of the earth. Mass of the earth. And capital R equal to radius of the earth. Radius of the earth. So anyhow, that is the formula. This is the formula to find the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. Look at the option B. Option B is absolutely correct. Let us go for next problem. Look at the next problem. The value of G acceleration due to gravity is maximum at. Dear friends, remember the value of g is maximum. G is maximum at the poles, at the pole, and g is minimum at the equator. Since it is asked for maximum g is happening at the pole, therefore option B is absolutely correct. You try to remember these 2 points. These 2 points are very, very important points. I can take this is also an important problem, 5-star problem, most expected problem. Simple problem, but very, very frequently asking question in the competitive exams. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the 9th problem. When the speed of rotation of the earth increases, your weight. Dear friends, if the speed of the earth is increasing, centrifugal force increases. Centrifugal force is acting away from the center of the earth. Because of that, your weight is decreasing when the speed of the earth is increasing due to increase in centrifugal force. Therefore option B is absolutely correct. And vice versa, if the speed of the earth is decreasing, centrifugal force is decreasing. If centrifugal force is decreasing, definitely your weight is going to increase. In this case, weight decreases. I hope you got my point. Let us take the next problem. Look at the 10th problem. The value of g stands for acceleration due to gravity, is 0. Dear friends, remember the acceleration due to gravity g equal to 0 at the center of the earth. This point also very, very important point. Therefore look at the option B. Option B is absolutely correct. Let us take the next problem. Look at the 11th problem. If the linear momentum is increased by 50%, the kinetic energy will be increased by. This problem also most expected problem, very, very important problem. Dear friends, remember in the ESET frequently the questions are repeating. Therefore I am marking this is the most expected problem in the competitive exams. So anyhow, it is given that if the linear momentum is increased by 50%, what is linear momentum? Linear momentum equal to product of mass and velocity. Remember, here mass remains constant. Momentum increases means only velocity increases. If I assume the initial velocity Vi is equal to V, final velocity Vf equal to initial velocity plus 50% of the initial velocity. That is the meaning of linear velocity increased by 50% or linear momentum increased by 50%. Here linear momentum increased by 50% means the velocity is increased by 50% because the mass remains constant. So it can be written as 1.5 times the initial velocity. But what is the initial velocity? V only, 1.5 times the V. That is the final velocity. Then what you are asked to find? The kinetic energy will be increased by. So initial kinetic energy equal to half into m into vi square equal to half into m into v square. Similarly, final kinetic energy equal to half into m into vf square, half into m into final velocity 1.5 into v whole square. So the percentage increase in kinetic energy equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy divided by initial kinetic energy. Here final kinetic energy half into m into 1.5 v whole square minus initial kinetic energy half into m into v square divided by half into m into v square. Simplify this value. It is equal to, let me write 1 minute. Let me write half mv square outside 1.5 whole square minus 1 divided by half mv square. Half mv square is cancelled. Finally it is 1.5 square minus 1 equal to 2.25. 1.5 square equal to 2.25 minus 1 equal to 1.25. But the options are given in percentage. 1.25 into 100 is equal to 125%. 125%. Otherwise, since I wrote percentage increase in kinetic energy, here itself I can multiply with 100 into 100 is equal to 125%. So kinetic energy is increased by 125%. Then look at the options. Look at the option C. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. This is a very important problem. Let's go for next problem. Look at the 12th problem. A metallic block slides down a smooth inclined plane when released from the top, while the other falls freely from the same point. One body is sliding on the inclined plane smoothly. It is given smooth inclined plane means you need not to consider the frictional effect. One is dropped on the smooth plane like this. This may be the smooth plane, and other one is dropped vertically downwards like this. By the time both reach to the ground, both are maintaining the same velocity. So this is the smooth inclined plane. Smooth inclined plane. That means one is dropped on the smooth inclined plane and other one is dropped vertically downwards from the same point, right? Therefore, by the time both are reaching to the same point, definitely both are maintaining the same speed or same velocity. Look at the options. Once again, let me read the problem. A metallic block slides down a smooth inclined plane when released from the top, while the other falls freely from the same point. In that case, both will reach the ground with the same velocity. Therefore, option A itself is absolutely correct. This problem also the most expected problem That's why let us mark as a 5-star problem. 5-star problem. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the 13th problem. A long spring is stretched by 2 centimeters and its potential energy is U. Here potential energy equal to U when the stretching distance x equal to 2 centimeters. Okay. If the spring is stretched by 10 centimeters, if the spring is stretched by, let this is the x1, if the spring is stretched by 10 centimeters, what will be the then the potential energy stored in the spring will be, what is the potential energy? What is the potential energy? Dear friends, remember here potential energy U equal to formula kx square. Then potential energy U1 by U2, I can write U1 by U2, I can write kx1 square by kx2 square. This k cancelled. Here initial potential energy is U. Initial potential energy is given U by final potential energy, let that is U2 equal to x1 2 square divided by 10 square. From this final potential energy equal to 10 square is 100 into U by 4, it is equal to 25 times the initial potential energy. Therefore the final potential energy of the stretched spring is 25 times the initial potential energy. Therefore option D is absolutely correct. Option D is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take the next problem. Look at the 14th problem. Two masses of 1 gram and 4 gram are moving with equal kinetic energies. Given that m1 equal to 1 gram, m2 equal to 4 grams. Kinetic energy for the first body equal to kinetic energy for the second body, that is given, moving with equal kinetic energies. Then the ratio of magnitudes of their linear momentum. Here linear momentum equal to what? Linear momentum equal to m into v. So ratio of magnitude of linear momentum means m1 v1 by m2 v2 equal to how much? Here for finding the relation between velocities, let us take the kinetic energy part. Kinetic energy remains constant, half into m1 into v1 square equal to half into m2 into v2 square. Half cancelled. m1 equal to 1, v1 square equal to m2 4 into v2 square. Then v1 equal to what? 2v2. That is the relation between the v1 and v2. Now let us find the m1 v1 by m2 v2. Here m1 is 1, m1 is 1, v1 equal to 2, v1 equal to 2v2 divided by m2 4 into v2. It is equal to v2 cancel, 2 by 4 is equal to 1 by 2. So the m1 v1 east, m1 v1 east, m2 V2 equal to 1 is to 2. 1 is to 2. That is the answer. 1 is to. Therefore, look at the option C. Option C. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. This problem also equally important problem. All are very important problems. You practice all these problems at least 2 times, because in the ESET questions are frequently repeating. Look at the last problem. Look at the last problem. Look at the last problem. A body is dropped from a rest at a height of 0.5 meters. Height of body dropping equal to 0.5 meters. What will be its velocity when it is striking the ground? By the time it is striking the ground, the final velocity v equal to how much? Since it is dropping, initial velocity u equal to 0. U be the initial velocity. Initial velocity is 0. Final velocity is how much? Final velocity. You know, one of the equations of motion is v square minus u square equal to 2as. But for freely falling body, it can be written as v square minus u square equal to 2gh. Here u equal to 0. Then p square minus 0 square or 0 equal to 2 into 9.8 into h 0.5. So it is, simplify this value, it is v square equal to 19.6 into 0.5, 9.8 v square, but I want v, final velocity v equal to root 9.8 meter per second. That is the answer. That is the velocity of the body at the time of touching the ground. Therefore, answer D is absolutely correct. Dear friends, I hope you clearly understood all these problems. My request is, you please practice with pen and paper once again. While you are practicing, if you find any doubt, you please send your doubts to the GeoByte. Definitely I will answer all your doubts. Anyhow, thank you very much. Please subscribe our channel called GeoByte. Have a great day.
GeoByte.